Hello guys, welcome back to another Conan Exiles build video. Hope you guys are doing well today. I'm excited for this build today. But in the last one, we built a spooky mansion to celebrate Halloween, and I hope you guys check that out. I will put that not in the description, but at the end of the video, you'll be able to click on that video, so I'll have it at the end there. But in this video, we're going to revisit the idea of doing a church, cathedral type thing. We're not going to do a full-blown cathedral because I've done a video like that before, but we're going to do kind of like a small medieval church, and I have an idea of how I want it to look. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So where I put the cathedral last time, it's not here anymore, but we are in E9, and this is in the Highlands, and this is in an area known as Devil's Squat, which is a place that has a lot of wolves in them. There are a lot of wolves in this area, but I was able to clear them out, so just prepared ahead of time. So what we're going to be building, what we're going to be using to build this cathedral is we're going to use a combination of Nemedian and also Frontier. So two of my favorite things. So we want to build the base of this place. And to start with that, we definitely need to get our frontier foundations here. And I'm wanting to make it where it's an odd number width. So, and I want to bring it out maybe somewhere like right here. Yeah. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll bring it over here, 5. We're going to do 5, because 3 is too short, too skinny. 4, I don't want to do 4 because it's not an even number, so 5 is the next best thing. And then once we get to 5, we're just going to go all the way back, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we'll do... Actually, we'll do twice the length. We'll do twice the length as the width is, so 5 width, 10 as the length. So we'll do that. And then this is just going to be a large rectangle. That's what this is going to be for now. So this is what it looks like so far. And we're not going to fill in the middle just yet because I'm going to go back around and we're going to use Nemedian fence foundations. So what we're going to use is grab this fence foundation here and just go crazy with it, you know? Place it all around. I don't know where that went. Where did that go? Oh, it's right there. Okay. And for these, they don't have like a front or back face. I mean, they technically do, but they're the same side, so it doesn't really matter for this one, unlike in our previous builds as well. But we are just going to go all the way around until we create pretty much the same shape, just this is the outer layer of it, kind of the outline. And so I'm going to get rid of these foundations here, and we're going to replace them with ceilings since our outline has been created. So just get rid of all this, and we're going to use ceilings. So let's go back to Frontier and use our Frontier ceilings. Now, I want it to... I'm actually going to have them face vertically this time, these wood panels instead of horizontally, just to switch it up just slightly. Because usually I go horizontally, but this time we're going to go vertically. Just like so. Yep, just like this. And then we just want to cover every bit of this, but we also want to make sure that there is some support that's underneath too. So we're going to grab, we could either use Frontier pillars, we could use Nemedian pillars, or whatever pillar you think is appropriate. I'm just going to use Nemedian. Just Nemedian, and just put 3 of them here. And then just build over those, like so, as we get closer to the center. And then I'll put probably 6. 3 on this side, 3 on the other. So, I don't know, I'm just gonna float down there like that. And I might have to create an opening here, so that way I can also put the pillar underneath there. So just like that. There we go. So it's pretty much the same, just instead of the foundations we're using ceilings, just because I'm used to doing it this way, and also for rendering concerns as well, especially if you're like on a console, and because console takes a little bit more to takes takes not much to render stuff. So compared to a PC, depending on how well your PC how well your specs are in your PC. All right. So we have a large rectangle, which doesn't look impressive right now, but we are going to change this a little bit. So I'm going to create some more outlines here, and we're going to create a little square on this corner, a square on this corner, and then a square here, and a square here. But not only that, we are also going to put a square right here, a square here, and every 2, let's see if that works out. So we put one here, put one here, and actually, you know what? Skip 3. So yeah, skip 3 like that, and then put the... Because if I just did skip 1, it would look a little weird, so skip 3 from there and skip 3 from here, and just put squares there too. And you can also put the these frontier ceilings down if you want to. These corner ones you're not gonna be able to have access to them, so it doesn't matter which way you're facing them. But these ones more towards the center, and the front and the back, those make more sense to have them face vertically like that, or horizontally, depending on where you're facing. But it's gonna look something like this. This is what it looks like so far. So let's go ahead and grab our Nemedian building pieces. So we're going to use our regular Nemedian walls, and we're going to just put these walls down like crazy, pretty much. Except I want to also use Nemedian frames, so in this sense, windows. Also, I forgot to mention, guys, so if you want to go to the bazaar, they are selling 2 bundles right now. So there's the Stormglass Sanctum set, which they are reselling right now, which is one of the things that I have. It's really cool because you get those cool windows, skylights, the rose window, you get these cool stairs and pillars and doorways, walls, etc., etc. It's really cool, but then you also can buy this, which I do have the pyramid set here, but there's also these decorative things too, which I'm not going to be getting. I mean, these are really cool to use, so if you want to build a giant pyramid or like some Egyptian style building with those pieces, mixing it with probably some Turanian or something like that, which might gives me an idea, really, then we could do something like that. Or if you want all of this, it's only 2,236 Crom coins. Technically I technically have a discount on it because I already have half of that entirety, half of the entire bundle. So yeah. And what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna put the doorway right here. I'm actually gonna put 2 doorways, so one here and one here. And I'll put a window here on the bottom. I always like to do bottom, skip 1, put another window, just because I want to be able to see from the bottom floor. Because it just doesn't make sense to put one 2 blocks above and then not be able to look outside. So just want to make sure that everything is symmetrical for a build like this, because typically they are symmetrical. And then so I think I'll put 2 windows there. Pretty much all these towers that are here is going to have a window facing out from this side. At least the middle ones are going to have them face outward like this. And then these front ones here, they're just going to be facing towards the front. And these, I'm actually gonna put some. I might actually put. I'm thinking. Hold on. Ooh, I actually have. No, I'm not gonna do that. Never mind. We're just gonna put windows here for now. If I have another idea, I will show you guys. But as of right now, we're just gonna do this. I'm not gonna do anything fancy right now. I just want to build this up until I come up with something that might be cool for this build. But just put all kinds of walls here. You can either put all the walls down first, then go back in and put some windows in, or you could put both windows and walls in, or you could start with where you want to put the windows in, then you put the walls down. It doesn't really matter which way you start. Just, you know, build to your heart's content, you know? I usually just like to build back and forth between windows and walls, leave spaces in between where I know I'm going to put windows, and then go back later, or as I'm building around the perimeter, I just switch between the two. So, and much like the front, these towers here, they're going to face the windows out like this too. Except this back part is not going to have, and I need to change this actually. Get rid of this square here, because we're actually going to put wedges. So wedge ceilings here, because this part's going to be more rounded, I guess you could consider it. Rounded, but not rounded technically. Just this back part here, because this is where probably the, you know, priest is going to be standing and everything with the stage and whatnot. So, or a pedestal or something, you know. And I'll put windows there too. I have combined in the past storm glass and Nemedian before, so I would just do the windows. So like if I did a window here, like so, and then just put them like that, which they kind of work together, so I think for this is what I'll do instead, just to make them a little bit more church-like, I guess, because usually they have large windows like that. So I think that would just make more sense. For these towers here, I'm not going to do that. These towers, I'm going to leave these small windows in place. They don't need those big windows there. It just looked kind of weird. Only on the main part of the building would it look good. So, would it look more, I guess, more meshed in with it. Sometimes I'm sometimes I'm good with words, sometimes I'm not. So yeah, we definitely want a lot of light in here though. Natural lighting during the day. And even, you know, some night light coming in too from the moon. Well, the moon doesn't produce its own light. The the moon gets light from the reflection that the sun's rays hit. So that's technically what it is. But it's still bright. You know, we call it moonlight anyway because it's the moon that's shining bright down, even though that's not technically how it works. But that's the name we give it anyway. So. Alright, so once these windows are in, once we get all these... Oops, not what I wanted. Once we get all these windows in, and I'm thinking... would that look good on the front if I did that? I mean, it wouldn't hurt to try and see what it looks like. So I put these here, and put this at the top, like that. That's not too bad, but I don't know if it would make more sense to do this too. Probably, yeah. We'll do this too. Yeah, that's fine. And then just kind of leave it like that. And then just continue to build up in other parts too until you actually complete this. And this whole part here is just, this is going to be all open face. all open. There might be pillars here just to give support for the roof, but for the most part, this is just going to be all open. And then we're going to cover the top here with one more layer of roof. Or roof. One more layer. My mind's on the roof right now. One more layer of walls just to cover the top of those windows there. And also just to add more height to this, because with it just being three high, it's not really that tall. So we want to be able to add a little bit more height to it. There we go. So you have something that looks like this. This shape just built up, just like what we started with earlier. It's just more built up like that. And then we can focus on building the roof now. So you want to be able to build more of the, oops, this doesn't have a window there. Oop, that's the wrong level as well. There we go. There we go. So we have these bits that stick out here. These are going to go taller than where the roof is going to begin. So just to give you some reference here, so we're going to use the median sloped roofs and all other equivalencies of those roofs. So we're just going to use these to go all the way across like this, and do it to the other side too, where we form a triangle. And then you want to use your median left sloping walls and make sure that the outside facing wall is facing on the outside, just like so, just like that. And you also want to use the inverted walls too here, but make sure that the outer face is facing outside towards you, depending on where if you're on this side, you want it to face away from you. If you're on this side, you want it to face towards you. And then we're going to take our wedge sloped roofs and cover this bit up, but this part you can't really cover up unless you use the inverted wedge just to cover that space up like that. And you have something that looks like this so far. Looks good. And then just continue with using these sloped walls until you reach the top here, and then you can bring out a regular wall. And then finish it off with a median wall cap, just like so. And then you want to do it on the same side here, except you don't need to use the wedge slopes here since they are, since there's no rounded parts here. And you also don't need to use the inverted sloping walls there because, again, you don't need it for the wedged sloped roofs, just like that. So, yep, looking good. And then we're just going to continue building this window up like so, and just continue building this up as well, as we're building up the roof too. And then you could switch between doing a little bit of the walls here and then also putting a little bit of the roof in, or you could just do all of one side and then just do the roof entirely. I'm kind of chaotic with it. It's just whatever I feel like I should do next, or okay, I've done a little bit of this, so let me move on to finishing this portion, or at least building up a little bit more, and then return to the next bit, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah. So for these openings here, since we can't really attach anything to it, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to put a ceiling right here on this, here, and pretty much on, not all of them, but at least on the parts that are attached to the main building and not the corner ones, because we need some foundation for the roof to connect to. Otherwise, it'll just be opened up like this, and it's just going to look awkward, in my opinion. Then this is built up to here. And I was thinking, we could add one more layer where it's just these. And I think what I could do is just get rid of that, so that way it's all wall there. And then just have door frames. And I don't know if It might look better if they're all facing on the inside, maybe? Like that? Yeah, I think that looks good. I like that. I mean, there's also these median frames as well, which we could use for the top, which I rarely use these, but this could be good too for like where the bell is. And that's kind of why I was using these regular door frames, but I think these work too. These work just as well in my opinion. So, all right, so we need to work on putting the roof on. So the medium roof top, just place all these down here. And you can see how some of this does not have that much support as you'd think it would, but that's okay. No need to worry, because even though it's yellow, there's still the orange and then the red aspects of it, so there's no need to worry about that. And then, which I rarely use as well, these rooftop caps, which they're really cool. So then we have something like this so far. I think it looks good. I like it. And then these towers on the corners and on the sides here are not going to be as tall as the middle bit here, the middle tower, but they are going to be taller than this section of the roof here by about 2. So it's going to be 2 shorter than this one, and yeah. And I want to make sure that I just put more windows in just to get that look of, oh, this continues to go up. You can go up in this tower when you can't really, unless you put an elevator in, but it leads nowhere. So, and then we're going to put more of these, what are they called? Rooftop caps, yeah. And then just follow the same directions for each of these towers until you reach the same height as these corner ones, or doesn't matter which way you start, just as long as you meet the same height as the rest of them. So just from where they started, just go up by 2, and then stop right there and put the cap on. And then there you go, it'll look amazing. And if you want to have more stability, where, let's say if I knock down a wall, it'll take out a whole piece of wall, but if I put it, the whole wall without having support, such as a ceiling, but if you put a ceiling in between each bit, then it'll only be just that wall that is taken out. So if you want to add more support for it, if you're building this in, like, I don't know why you would build this in PvP, but if you do, it might be better to do that kind of thing, or yeah, but in PvE, you don't have to worry about people destroying your builds and whatever. PvP can be brutal sometimes, but I always play on PvE. Just because the amount of times I spend on my builds in survival, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to wake up one day and just all my work just being destroyed. Same with Minecraft as well. Like, playing on servers that prevent people from griefing you or destroying your stuff. So, yeah. Just want to make sure that that doesn't happen. But we have something like this. That looks really cool, I think. I like that. Definitely looks medieval, in my opinion. I'm gonna try something though, because this might actually be too tall. So I'm gonna go back around real quick. So I'm gonna cut this part out. Okay, so I think the change that I did was a little bit better, because the change I did is I just knocked it down by 1 more layer, and I think this looks better than what we had it before. So it's pretty much 3 down now from this middle tower here, and we just have something like this. So this looks better in my opinion. So I just say knock down them by 1 layer, and then you'll be fine. But if you want to keep them that layer, you see another option here, just 1 level shorter, 1 level higher. Just really depends. There's technically 1 more option, or 2 more, just different heights that we could do that I could show you. And I'll do that real quick for you, just so that way you get a sense of like what you like the most. So give me a second. Okay, so instead of the rooftop caps, what we could do instead is also use these beautiful Nemedian crenulated walls because I love these crenulated walls so much. And it looks something like this. And I think at this height it's really good. I recommend putting a ceiling though in there because it just leaves this open. You can also put lights up here too if you want to. And you know what? I'm gonna leave it like this. I think this is probably the better iteration of it than the rooftop caps. Just the rooftop cap for the middle, I think makes more sense. And I'm just gonna go and put these median ceilings down. There we go. Just like that. That looks really good. Nobody can climb on those anyways, because crenulated walls technically can hurt you if you try to climb on them, so, yeah. Alright, so the front entrance here, we need a way to get up to it. So this is a very short foundation. So it's not like 2 high, 3 high, something like that, so we don't need like a grand staircase going up. But we do need at least some like patio or something in the front in order to get to the door. Instead of just putting stairs right up against the door, because that just doesn't look good. So what I'm thinking is we're not gonna go with Frontier, really. I'm gonna go with something a little bit more like nicer, I guess. I don't know, that probably wouldn't be the right way to describe it, but I really like these Turanian ceilings. I really like these, and I think these are fancy for something to walk up to. And you could use these, or there's also the regular ones from before, which are darker, but I do like the white contrast with these ones. And I just think it just looks nice seeing them like this. And then what I could do, I don't know if there is not a wedged version of this, it looks like. There are these rounded ceilings though, which I kind of like a lot. And these are the colors that come with them too. The same color. So that's pretty cool. And I like that a lot, actually. That looks really nice. I don't know if there's a rounded foundation though that can go with these. I could be wrong. I don't think so. Ceiling skylight. Wall rounded, which are like the tent ones, but that's, yeah. So, just gonna have to deal with that being rounded there, and I don't even think stairs can go on those either. Can they? No, they cannot. So, yeah, we're gonna have to go... I mean, you can really see it floating except on this side, but, that's a shame. Maybe if I was building like a tent, which really, like, this might give me an idea for a future build with these things. Because I haven't really used them that much, and I really should. But they don't have a wedged version of these, which is kind of disappointing. So we're just going to keep it square. Just keep it square. And just put the fence foundations around this as well. Okay. So the stairs that I'm going to put, I was thinking the median stairs, but nah. If we go back to Turanian, these stairs look really cool too, because they're stone steps, and I think they look nice, actually. And I don't know if I want to have them like this from the sides, which might be better, I think. Or I could have them be... I can actually have them connect to here, because I might want to put something in the middle here, like a fountain or something that I'm thinking about. And we're definitely going to put fences here, so that we don't fall off. Even though it's not that high up, just, you know, we don't want that to happen. And let's get our decorations. And not baths, that's not what we want. There is... Is there one for fountains specifically? Does not look like it. I gotta remember where these are because there's so many decorations here. It's just ridiculous. Oh, it's wells. Here we go. Wells. That's what it is. And get this beautiful Argosian fountain. There's two of them technically. We could do one that's up against the wall like this, although we'd have to take that away. And let's go back, wells. So this one, which it'd probably be better if it was up against like 2 walls, but that's okay. This gives you a sense of what it looks like. It's not even, but there's a well like that. Or a fountain. It's really a fountain. Or we could do something... I'm not going to center it in these parts here because I want there to be at least a walking path. But we also have this here. This fountain. And I'm really thinking crenulated walls instead because it leaves an open... Yeah. I might have to replace that fountain. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. But something like this, so that way you can see the fountain a little bit more, and it's just nicer in general. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. But I also need to make sure it does not stick out of the wall there. Otherwise it'd look a little silly. See, it's doing it. Stop doing that. There we go. That's better. Yeah, just like that. Beautiful. And you know what? We could put some banners in too. Banners is what I've been thinking about. The types of banners though, those are standing ones. Those are also standing ones too. Not the alchemist one. Is there one that just like goes on the wall? Some of these I wish that they would. Oh yeah, like these look good. Yeah, something like that. That's nice. We also need to put some lights in as well. And I'm going more with the yellow kind of lights. Nothing too crazy. And I'm thinking like you can never go wrong with the Taranian braziers just because they're very bright and they're very pretty as well. I just like them a lot. Really bright and really pretty. I also gotta get the height right with these, because a little bit higher. Good enough. That's good enough, I think, in my opinion. All right. So now we have this in here, which I also have another idea. So since Numidian has crenulated walls, I think a good idea would be to utilize these in some way. So I definitely want to go around the room here. And I'm thinking just at least this part here, these ceilings, we're going to just place down a bunch of these crenulated walls. So all the way across, like so, until it reaches each corner of the room. Just like so. And it's like really quiet in here because like this whole place is just covered. Can't really hear anything. And this here, I'm gonna fix that. So not gonna be able to see that from here. Just because. Oh, wait, is that covered already? It is. Okay, perfect. Cool. And I think for here too, just cover these up and put a wall in place because I want all these crenulated walls to work with one another. Instead of having a gap in between, it just looked weird if that was a thing, so. And I could technically cover it up like that if I wanted to as well, instead of just worrying about putting a wall there. So it saves a little bit of time like that. There we go. And then we do it again. So just bring up the next layer of crenulated walls. Am I saying crenulated? Vaulted ceilings. Why am I saying crenulated? It's vaulted. Vaulted ceilings. Ugh, crenulated. I got crenulated on my mind. It's vaulted. Vaulted ceilings. There we go. We have something like this. And then to finish off the top, we could use this vaulted ceiling. Actually, no, that's too short for that to work. We might just have to make it flat. Yeah, that's probably the best idea. Yeah. So, just flatten it out like so. Just like that. And then you have this kind of shape going on with the ceiling, which I think is really cool. I like it. And this gives the opportunity to, you can't really put pillars in here now, but we can put some really nice hanging lights above, which I love these Aquilonian hanging lamps. So that's what we're going to be using. And we're going to use one here. Use one here. I'm going to say skip one and put one down. Yeah. And then this middle part here, this both technically skips one, so just in the middle like that. That's beautiful right there. All right. So now what we can do is let's put some benches down. Furniture, farming, game instruments, Leto Palisades, seating. Here we go. So something that looks similar to a pew, I think. At least something that's as close to a pew as we can get. Something with the back to it as well. I don't want to just, not have that. What's this Stygian bench look like? That looks more like for outside, but I kind of like it. I also realized that I forgot I had this Throne of Jebelsog, which is really cool looking. We might have to go with these benches, honestly. Yeah. And we'll put them... It's going to be hard to center this as best as I can, but one there. Pretty much skip a whole ceiling here and then just place them down. As best as you can. It's okay if you don't get them perfectly. I know I'm not, because there's no snapping involved with this, so I'm just gonna go with the flow. Until maybe there is good enough, and then here. And then you just go around on the other side, pretty much mirroring what you did for the left side. And one of the cool things is that you have this thing, which I don't know what you call this. Zamorian dice? I'm probably butchering it, and I apologize for that. There's also stage. So if we go to building pieces, stages. So we have these. We have these things, which there is no weird because there isn't any sort of wedge stages, which I don't know why there isn't. But we could just go with something like this and just put where's the wedge? Well, these are corners, so they work something like this. And this part's just weird. So what I could do, and what it would be probably a smart idea to do, would be to put a wall right here. And this is, like, unfortunately, you won't have a big old window in the back. Unfortunately. And it just covers that portion there. And then you just cover this up here. There might be a different solution to this, but this is kind of like what I could do for the time being. And then we have something like this. Or you have the stage here, and then we have... Oh, I need to find where it is. This thing. The reading stand. Yeah. And I can't remember which way is the correct way to face it. Is it that way? No, it is not that way. The other way around. Like this. There we go. I did it again. Go this way. There we go. That's what we want. And then maybe like a big old banner in the back, or at least some standing ones. Uh, is there one that... There's like these. Which, that's really tall. Oop. That's really tall. Too tall, in fact. So, and maybe, yeah, like tapestry or something too. Tapestry is also nice to have. Yeah, something like this. And it's gonna be different colors, so it's not as if like, you know, you might be able to find the same color or something with these, but this is what we're gonna have for right now. Just something like that for now. That works. And then we can have some standing lights, I believe. Um, what are some good... Like, we have torches here, but I think braziers would be nice too. And there's some big braziers that exist. I just gotta find the right one. So we have those. There's these regular Stygian braziers, and obviously there's the Aquilonian brazier, which might be the best option here. Yeah, something like that. That looks good. And then we could probably have some seating in the back here too. Probably some nice chairs. There's like Zamorian throne as well. Like we have something like this. Then maybe like a nice fancy... Oh, that's not gonna fit there? Oh no. I was thinking like a long table in the middle, or something that could actually just fit in between these two. That could be used as like, oh, we could place stuff down on top of it. I guess this, yeah, stone table like that. That looks good. And now for the middle, we need carpets. Carpets. And definitely need a long carpet too, so definitely something like this. Yes. Which, if I'm able to, I might be able to fit two of these, one facing one way, one facing the opposite direction. Oh yeah. Just like that. Oh, that's so cool. I like it a lot. That is really, really cool. All right, and then maybe these sides here we can have statues. Let's go with some statues here. Or plants. Actually, no, plants. I rarely put plants in my builds, and I need to do that. A plant there. Plant there. That just kind of fills up the space. Maybe some of these in the corner as well. Yeah. That looks good. That's nice. Are there any I don't think there's any hanging plants. Yothka the demon plant? Oh. No thanks. There's also the cursed tree. Cursed tree is pretty cool looking, but maybe not for the inside. But we have something like this, a very beautiful church. Medieval church, or at least something to the equivalent of a medieval church. I guess one of the last things I could do is put in, obviously, doors. So let's get rid of the HUD there. There we go. So something like this. looks really nice, I think. I think it turned out really well. I hope you guys thought the same as well. Just get a nice little run around here. Even in survival, I'd say that this would definitely take... It wouldn't take as long as some of my builds that I built in the past in survival that were pretty big, but this would definitely this definitely take a little bit to make them go up to tier 3. um, but I think this turned out really well. I love it so much. But yeah, if you guys actually, you know what a great way to end off would be to do this. Look at that. All right. Well, if you guys did enjoy this build, be sure to leave a like if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate that. And don't forget to hit subscribe as well, because that lets me know that you guys enjoy the content on the channel and would like to see more. If you have any build suggestions, be sure to put them down in the comments below. I actually do have a suggestion for quite a large build, at least 2 of them that we could probably do from somebody in my Discord that recently joined. So you can also join my Discord as well. The link should be in the description down below too. I'd like to give a shout out to my friend Barry Medley for being a member of the channel. And you could become a member too by hitting the join button down below. I've been Savvy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys. See you later.